and now it is recording.
Okay, so is it recording on mine?
Okay. It's recording on mine. I've got it.
Oh, okay.
I bought a computer now.
Record now. Do you have a computer now?
I do. I know, whole new world. Anyway, y'all, Jessica is my mentor. Some of y'all have met her. I am so ready to get back in person so that you guys can get like elbow to elbow and actually hug these people. But Jessica is so down to earth, but she is a bad mama jamma at what she does in leadership thing. Yes, it's true. Leadership, like I learned so much leadership from her. So anyway, I was like, Jessica, please come share level 4, level 5 with us. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk. I think I've said this earlier. She is Diamond. Her husband is Diamond, and she is senior Ruby, but she has like top 5, like fastest growing teams all the time, every contest. Like she's great. And she's our upline. So there you go.
Level 5 leader. So I'm excited to talk to you about level 4 and 5. I'm right there. So I'm excited about this topic. Okay, so first of all, some of you guys are so new. I mean, you haven't even got to experience a Plexus event yet, and I am like grieved. So the next Plexus event, on the evenings that they have the live band playing, just go to the live band, go towards the front of the audience, and I'll be there. And Jordan will be there, and we'll all be there, and we'll be dancing, okay? And I would love to be there with you. I'm so sad that you are missing out, or not missing out. You haven't got to experience that yet. So that's something to look forward to. We have a good time. We work hard, we love Jesus hard, and we play hard and have fun. And so I love that combination of all three. Okay, so a little bit about me, since a lot of you guys don't know me. I went to Diamond, from start to Diamond, in 11 months. And so it's not the fastest, but it's one of the fastest in the entire company. And I believe that I got there with the help, first and foremost, with God, but from developing other leaders from the beginning, because nobody explodes or grows that quickly from one leg. Okay. As of right now, I have developed 10 level 1 jewels, and also have 10 level 1 senior rubies, and I have others as well, but those are my highest ranking ones. And so I've got some tips and ideas on ways and verbiage and things that you can tangibly do to help develop other leaders on your team. So back in the day when things were going so quickly, people really didn't know who I was. I'm an introvert. And so like, I'm not, like I may seem flamboyant because this is like the topic that I love to teach on, but I'm pretty reserved in person. And so people were like, what's happening over there? What are they doing that's so different than everybody else? Or I would get this question like, how come there's no drama on her team? Or how come, like my team has all these issues and there's always this chaos and drama, and Jessica's just cool as a cucumber. And I know it is because of my leadership lid. I have committed to developing myself and my leadership skills from day one. And one of my favorite quotes from Brene Brown is, who you are is how you lead. Okay. Who you are is how you lead. We lead from who we are. And so if we're a person full of insecurities or fears or whatever, that's where that's going to hold us back, or that's where we'll lead from. If we are coming from a place of vulnerable confidence, then that's what we're going to lead from. And whoever we are is what we can inspire other people to be. Okay. So if we're courageous, or we're bold, or we're kind, or we face our fears, we can inspire other people to do those things as well. So I love this book. I've loved this study a couple of times. It's been a couple of years, so I got it out today. And when I started looking at my highlighted things, and then I started to pop up, and I thought of, if I take this content, and I just started writing some things, and I kind of came down with 5 things that I've done to help develop other leaders. Okay, so we're gonna talk about that for just a second. But first, let me say this. Okay, I don't care what your personality you are, or I'll just say, I don't care what personality you are. If you do not take developing other leaders seriously, you will burn out. Okay, so many people think, here's who I see burn out: the people who can sign level ones all day long, okay, but they're never taking the time to develop themselves, which in turn develops other leaders, and they burn out. Okay, you can get to Emerald by having 250, am I doing the math right? 250 level ones, 300 level ones. You can get to Emerald and have 300 level ones. You can. All power to you. If that's what you want to go do, you can go do that. Or there's just so many other ways. Or you can get to Emerald by developing, why is my math fried today? Developing 3 rubies, or 10 senior golds, like whatever. There's an infinite amount of possibilities, but the truth is 3 rubies or 10 senior golds is way less work than 300 level ones. And so by rising, okay, so anyways, I'm just going to dive into what I believe I have always done, even from the beginning, to develop other leaders. Okay, I'm always looking for opportunities to rise up others and their leadership skills. Here's a super tangible thing. Okay, the other day I caught Chandler did this amazing, this like super candid. She did it on the team page, and she was just like, "Hey, don't let the holidays slow you down." Like a mistake that I made, which I love when leaders are transparent, when leaders share mistakes that they have made. Okay, did you hear me loud and clear? Nobody's going to follow someone that's perfect and they think they can never be. Okay, when you admit your mistakes, that makes you more relatable and makes people trust and like you even more. So anyways, I caught this, and it was just like, because I know Chandler well enough that I knew she used to be terrified to make a video. And I saw this, and I was like, girl, you're just like super casual. You were just spouting it out. And it was very tangible tips. And I said, would you go do that on my team page? Okay. So that twofold, that's rising Chandler's leadership lid because she had something of value to add. And yeah, that blesses my team too, because those are tangible tips that other people are going to need. And so I'm gonna leave you guys with some challenges. So one challenge in this area is this week, I want you to at least find 2 people on your team and highlight a strength of theirs and ask them to use that gift to bless the team. You may have somebody who's super into the science and the ingredients. They may be in the health field or the natural field. And that's just not, you just don't have a green bone in your body, or maybe you even do, but just even saying, oh girl, I so appreciate this is your strength zone. Would you mind making, or you could even say Tuesdays on my team page, would you do health food Tuesday? I don't know, make something up. And ask them to use their strength on your team page or on your team thread or on your team call or whatever avenue that you guys have. But this is so important because your team is looking to you as the epitome of leadership. And they're probably thinking, well, geez, I'm not as good as them, or I'm not as fast as them, or I don't have the gift that they do. And so they're already, everybody thinks they're not good enough. Okay. So everyone on this call who's thinks that, even though you are a high-ranking leader on the team, that's not you're not alone in that. Every single person deals with feeling not good enough. And so let's encourage the freaking crap out of people, especially right now when people are just discouraged and the world is gone to beep. Okay. And okay, so always look for opportunities to rise other people up to, and this is just like everything in leadership can be related to relationships, related to parenting. Like one thing I've learned really recently is like, if your kid keeps doing stuff you don't want them to do, instead take the time to really encourage and notice the good things that they are doing. And then you will get more of that behavior. Okay. And so instead of shaming them all the time for the things that they're doing bad or the things that they're not doing, if you will very intentionally and repetitively vocalize what you see that you would like, what you see that you appreciate, what you see that you're proud of, then that will encourage them to do more of that. So, okay. So always looking for opportunities to rise them up in their leadership skills. Number 2, they ask good questions. Self-awareness is one of the most important pieces of leadership. Okay, you guys are leaders. And so for the most part, you know what to do, you know how to do this thing, And so when someone comes to you for coaching, again, I'm going to tell you mistakes that I made. someone would come to me for coaching and, they may have been stuck. And then I would just spout out everything they need to go do. Like, well, I see you need to do this. You need to add this many people. This is the area that you're weak in. And then they would leave that conversation not empowered. They would kind of, me just telling them stuff to do. And it wasn't really their idea. So most of the time they didn't end up doing it. When I learned that the skill of coaching is a really, really important skill in this business, and really all coaching is ask, and really all counseling is, if you guys have ever been to a therapist or gone to counseling, we're big advocates of counseling. I'm currently in counseling, is that they just ask you questions so you will evaluate and find the answer yourself. So even though you may know the answer, you may know they're like, my business isn't growing, and they are working 10 minutes a day. And so why their business isn't working. But instead of saying, well, you're working 10 businesses a day, you lazy, maybe you should ask, okay, your business isn't growing. Let's see here. So exactly how much time on Monday did you spend on your business? And so they have to actually be honest and evaluate and think. Just like with your new ambassadors or your new customers, they may be saying, oh, I'm drinking so much water. And you say, okay, exactly how much water are you drinking? And they're like, 4 cups of water. I used to never drink any, and now I'm drinking 4. Okay, then that still is not 8 glasses a day, which or more, which is ideal. Okay, so it's asking the questions to help them come up with the answers. And Jordan can share this with you, or you might have your own version. Like I even have like a coaching worksheet that these are, because I used to do a bunch of coaching calls and they weren't going anywhere and they were a waste of my time. So time is very, very important. So when I learned to better hone in on my coaching skills, it helped develop other leaders and didn't waste anybody's time. So this questionnaire, if someone wants a coaching call with me, I give them this questionnaire. They have to answer those 5 questions and send them back to me before our coaching call, because that helps them become self-aware, put some skin in the game, start thinking and evaluating some things up there. So we can share that with you if you want to, but always think of, and that's not my natural tendency to ask questions. I'm a tell you what to do kind of person. And so I definitely had to learn and adjust that way as well. So leaders ask good questions and anything they can do to help about self-awareness. Okay, number 3, I am always nudging people to do something scary. Like, oh, that's my passion. Let me tell you a little story. Like I was so proud of this. I had a party at my house this weekend for senior rubies and above on our team. And my very good friend, Amber Emberson, she's a senior ruby. She couldn't come because she booked a last minute trip for her and her husband to go to Vegas, which is so great. Go have fun. But we're at the party and she texts me and she's like, Jessica, I'm about to do something really scary. And it like thrills me. This is like, I don't know what cocaine is like, but that must be what cocaine, like it is a high, like someone's doing something they're scared of. Like it's a really big thing to me because I know what happens when somebody does something scary, how empowering, how after they do, this was a helicopter ride, for example. You may think that has nothing to do with your business, but when she was terrified to ride a helicopter, rides a helicopter, steps off of that helicopter, she is 10 foot tall and bulletproof and is like, and what's next? Okay. And you know what? You can do that to your team when you nudge that person to make that training video, or you nudge that new person to make their first post, or what's some other examples? You can put them in the comments of something you can nudge somebody to do that's scary. And I fully equate this, it's another random story. Like, again, everything outside of your business affects your business. The things in your business affect your life outside of your business. That's why I'm such a huge component for marriage and family and priorities, because they connect. Like if your marriage is having a really rough patch, it's going to affect your business. And if your business is having a really rough patch, it's going to affect your marriage, and vice versa. If your marriage is going great, you're going to be happier and more inspired and empowered to work, and vice versa. So, but anyways, when I was in college, I'm 5'12", so I'm very tall. I am not athletic. I'm no Jordan Roddenberry, y'all. I didn't play sports in school. And so I was terrified. In college, they have club sports. And so my social club, they played club sports. I think after I pledged, the first sport up was basketball. So I was like, no, pass this sheet to the next person. Thank you very much. But the person who was the athletic director that semester was like, no, Sloan, you're signing up for this. And I was like, you don't understand. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. And she was like, no, you are going to sign up for basketball. This is ridiculous. You are going to play. And I'm like, you don't understand, Chriselle. I am not good. I am so not good. And there was A, B, C, and D teams. Okay. And she was like adamant. And I was like, fine, but only on D team, only on D team. And so she put me on D team. I was terrified, like terrified. I think I only told my roommate, but I had like lots of really good friends, lots of guy friends, and I didn't tell any of them because I didn't want anybody to see me play because I was so embarrassed. Well, my roommate tells my really good guy friends, they come, they bring their entire hallway, they bring pizzas. I have the largest cheering section at my very first D team basketball game. I don't think I scored, but I remember shooting in the wrong basket. I remember like fouling. It's D team, so they're not reffing it that hard, but like foul. I was just so embarrassed. But you know what? I got over it. And from then on out, I played every single sport. It was just that initial terrified of someone else being like, no, you're going to do this. I believe in you. I don't care if you're horrible. You have to sign up and do this. We need you. And that was 25 or not 20, not that old, 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, something that little has then nudged me to do things that are scary. And so never underestimate the power. And Jordan, if I'm ever saying something, you want to pipe in, go for it. I feel like you were wanting to say something, but never underestimate your ability to nudge that person or do that scary person. But another thing is that I love prizes and awards, like totally throw out prizes and awards for people who enroll the most people. So great. But I also want to encourage you to occasionally do prizes and rewards to reward the activity that you want to see to get the results you're looking for. Let me say that again. Reward the activities that you want to see to get the results that you're looking for. And so I've rewarded people, this week, anybody who does a live video by Wednesday, whatever, comment here, and then I'm going to give away a prize. But here's the kicker as leaders. You ready for this? Leaders don't just make a post on a team page, because when you just make a post on a team page, maybe 2 people will do it. And so I'm all about empowering people. I'm not all about whining. And so if you catch yourself whining, let's see how we can empower that. And so a lot of times I've seen people do this and they're like, well, nobody did it. Nobody did my challenge. And I'm like, okay. This happened to me. So when I was about a gold ambassador, some of you guys have heard this one, but I did a challenge, and I was like, okay, I think it was around New Year's. And I was like, everybody who turns in their goals, and I had like 3 different questions, by New Year's Eve, that I'm going to give them, I was only a gold. I was like a $25 gift certificate to go out to eat. And that was a huge deal to me. And so I did that, and I was so excited. And then one person turned their goals in. Okay. Then at that point I had a choice. I could say, oh my gosh, my team sucks. See, never should have done this. This is never going to work. I'm not a good leader. Nobody's doing what I asked them to do. I have no influence to, see every single lie I just went through in my head. But instead, I started to send out private messages. And I was like, hey, Ryan, I really want you to win this $25 gift card. Let's work on these together. And then I would remind her of it or ask her some curious questions. And then I went to Carrie, and then I went to Cheryl, and then I went to all these people. And guess what? I had a whole lot more people turn in their goals because I went to them and said, hey, I want to see you win this. Let's do this together. Okay. And in doing that, changed everything. I love this story because Ryan Evans, who is now a diamond on my team, like she's like a diamond re-enter. So 6,000 point plus diamond. She did this exercise and she turned it in. And one of the questions was, what rank do you want to be? What's your rank goal 1 year from today? And she said her rank goal 1 year from today was silver. Okay. So this is another way to rise up other leaders. In doing this exercise, you can get an idea of if they understand this comp plan or not. Ryan Evans is a leader. She is a natural born leader. To know her is to know that she is a leader. And so when she turned that in, here's what I could have done. Been like, yay, girl, proud of you for turning in your goals. Happy New Year. No, I said, Ryan, did you know that silver is only 3 and you can actually be silver this week and you can be emerald in a year? And she was like, what? Really? And then it let it, I told her this stuff before. I'd posted about it on the team page before, but again, people don't pay attention without the one-on-one conversations. And so she was silver that week and emerald in a year. Okay. And that never would have happened without this goal exercise and without me having the conversation with her. So nudge people to do that scary thing. Man, the scary thing, the scariest thing to people tend to be live videos or making a post about money or let me tell you, post about money. Okay. Here's another tip. So many people come to me and they say, I just don't have very many business builders. Every time that this has happened, they've come to me, they've said they don't have business builders. I will go and look at their page and I'll scroll at least 2 weeks back. And there is not one post on there that would attract me to their business. And I just say me because I joined for the business. People join for lots of different reasons. That's fine. But me specifically was attracted to the fact I'd been praying for over a year for a way to make money from home. Like I desperately needed money. We were in a lot of debt. And so my prayer was a way to make money. Okay. So other people out there, you may be making the most beautiful post about anxiety, or I take the most beautiful picture of the pink drink, or share an amazing testimony of PCOS or whatever. Those are needed, yes. But if you're not talking about that, if you're not throwing up that income disclosure, if you're not talking about what your paycheck paid for last month, because y'all are making decent money, if you're not giving them tangible, memorable examples, then there's no reason for them to be interested in what you're doing if they're looking to build a business or looking for a side hustle. Because again, I thought people were just making $50, $100. And I already did not want to do this. So I'm like, I'm not going to put myself out there if I'm only going to make $50. No, thank you. Even when Tamara, why I even joined is actually Tamara did not recruit me. I saw her. I mean, I noticed that she posted about Plexus, but I was like, oh, weight loss company, blah. She's so crazy. But then I noticed that she wasn't posting like my crazy aunt twice removed, literally, who was like, weight loss, sales, buy from me. I'm putting in a bulk order. Buy, please, 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 please. Like begging people to do it, buy from her. Turn me off. Tamara was posting much differently. And what attracted me to Tamara is when she put up that picture of trying to pick out her Lexus. She's at the Lexus dealership picking out which Lexus. Stopped my scroll, was like, wait, what? I don't know anybody who actually is successful at these things. And then I had a conversation with her. And before my conversation with her, I was like, oh, I bet she makes $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month would change my world. And when I called her and just straight up asked her, because that's what you do in network marketing, you don't have to be kosher. She was like, I'm making almost $10,000. I made almost $10,000 last month. And I was like, wait, what? And the rest is history. This summer, me and Rob had a $100,000 month combined. And so it's real. The numbers are absolutely endless. She's like, someone's laughing. Like, so the beauty of it is, and I had to do a lot of work, and that can be another call for another day, but money mindset was a big thing for me because I had a lot of scarcity. I grew up in a family of 7, and my dad probably made around $30,000 a year, and he worked in a factory. So I didn't come from money. I actually judged money and thought it was bad and weird and all that stuff. And so we'll talk about that for another day, but the possibilities are absolutely endless. So nudge people to post about money. That can be a scary thing for people, but they need to be posting more about this opportunity because it was an answer to prayer for me. Number 4. Okay. I got lots of cheesy hashtags. Leaders are learners. Leaders are readers. Leaders are not avoiders. Okay. This is a way for you to be a level 4 leader because you're rising up others. Okay. Because again, who we are is how we lead. And so I'm talking to all of us. Look at this sweet baby that was kissing the camera. Okay. That who we are is how we, so what we learn, how we grow. Leaders are always, leaders are readers, leaders are learners till the day they die. If you look at the difference between someone who, I just want you to like look at the people who have not fakely have their life together. I don't know, I'm talking about in an Instagram world. I'm talking about people who have their life together. I'm not even saying a perfect life, but they are growing and learning and teaching others as they go along. Don't overcomplicate this. I have a lot of people who are always like, I don't know what to post. And I'm like, what have you learned this week? Like anything in life, like even on your personal page, anything that you learn, teach it to somebody else. That is that simple. And if somebody teaches me something, their level of influence with me goes up automatically. You teach me how to make cookies. You teach me how to garden. You teach me how to public speak. You teach me how to be a better parent. You teach me how to be a better wife. You teach me how to put on my makeup properly. You teach me how to mix up my protein shake. Like if it doesn't have to be this mind-blowing educational experience. You just teach me a tip that I didn't know. And I like you. I like you. I respect you. I want to listen to you. Okay. And so if you don't have anything to share, then we got to stop and ask ourselves a question. This is very good. Self-regulating as a leader. You can always get yourself out of being stuck if you will stop and ask yourself simple questions. And so if you're like, I don't know what to post today, stop and ask yourself, what have I fed myself this week? What have I learned? Y'all, again, don't overcomplicate this. Listen to a podcast. Listen to a sermon. Listen to Plexus has a training call every single Monday and every single Thursday. Get those texts and listen to those calls. And then y'all, from the sermon today, I wrote down a one-liner from the sermon. I was like, that stuck out with me. Wrote it in the notes on my phone. I want to make a Facebook post about it this week. Okay. Do not overthink this. Also, everything I'm teaching you tonight, go and teach your team some things that you have learned from me tonight. It's that simple. That's what level 4 leaders do. They teach other people things. They teach other people how to be better leaders because they themselves are learning to be better leaders. And you being on this call is you learning to be a better leader. Simple. My word for this year was simple. Let's keep it simple. So leaders are learners, leaders are readers. Leaders are not avoiders. Which also takes a moment of pause and asking yourself, what are you avoiding? The screen did not black out there for a second. A couple seconds of awkward silence is okay. We're going to write this down. What am I avoiding? You ask yourself that. You ask almost every person who you coach, any person who comes to you with that saying that they're stuck in this business, they don't know what to do next. God gave us discernment and intuition, and we just keep ourselves busy so we don't have to listen to it. If you will pause and ask yourself, what am I avoiding? Whether that's leading or posting or reading or having a difficult conversation with the person on your team that's so freaking full of drama and loud and causes problems all the time, maybe you need to shut that down so the rest of your team can flourish, whatever that is. But we got to pause long enough to evaluate and to hear what that is. Which this is a side note, but I was thinking about this. So I was praying for what to talk about tonight. I was thinking about this the other day. So over my journey, there have been like for example, I would hear like this one person say all these excuses, and she would say, well, it's because we're this age, my team is this age, so we really struggle with this, this, and this. And then I've had another person say, well, my team is this race, so we really struggle with this, this, and this, and this. And I've had another person say, well, my team lives in a small town, so we really struggle with this, 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 and this. Or my team has a lot of men on it, so we really struggle with this, this. But the funny thing was, all the this, 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 and this was the same. But they were saying, no, it's because we live here, or it's because we're this age, or it's because we're this denomination, or we're this. Do you see what I'm saying? Every single one of those thought that all those excuses were unique to them. And I'm like, no, honey, every single person I know deals with this, every single person deals with scarcity mentality. Every single person deals with people who are scared. Every single team deals with people who are lazy. Every single team deals with those things. And so I just want to also empower you to be mindful. If in anything in life, are you whining or are you taking ownership? Because leaders are also problem solvers. Okay, I view that as taking ownership as you guys are problem solvers. That's what leadership does. They pivot. If something goes bad, if shipping still has not come out from your holiday shipments, which sucks, but which happens from time to time, a leader is not going to be like, again, can you believe this happened? No, you're going to pivot. This whole freaking year has been a pivot, okay? But that's what leaders do. They may not, leadership isn't always glamorous, but that's what you do. And that is always taking ownership, being a problem solver, finding a resolution to it. And I just want to, have one of the best problem solving leaders I know, Jordan Roddenberry. Okay. It wasn't 5 minutes after they announced that Leadership Retreat was canceled, but she was already trying to plan something for y'all. And I was like, I haven't even read the email about this yet. And she was already pivoting for you guys to create an experience. And I respect her so much for that, because she noticed, no, my team really, really needs to be together right now. My team really, really needs community right now. This freaking sucks, but I don't have time to even think about it. Let's pivot and let's make it happen. And so that's a pretty large scale, but it's the small scale things all the time that comes in leadership. So, and then the last thing I wanted to say is speak life. I've always talked to people as if they are a leader, because I believe that rises them up to that expectation. And so one simple thing, like one thing right now you could do is Super Saturdays coming up. Okay. So instead of just putting it out there and saying, who's registered for Super Saturday? Instead, I'm going to go to, let's say Sarah is my level 1. So I'm not going to go message Sarah and say, hey, Sarah, have you signed up for Super Saturday yet? Instead, I'm going to go, hey, Sarah, who from your team have you got signed up to go to Super Saturday? Okay. And that does two things. If Sarah hasn't even signed up herself, she's probably going to go sign up now, because you're already expecting her team to be coming, not just her. But also Sarah probably may have not messaged her team yet about Super Saturday. So it's putting that expectation that it's on Sarah to message her team to make sure they're signed up for Super Saturday. Does that make sense? Like, it's just one small slight of language, but it's talking to them as if they are a leader. Like, it's like, duh, leaders invite their team one-on-one to sign up for Super Saturday. So it's not like shameful. It's not like, oh, you haven't done that yet. You're assuming that they already have done the behavior that you expect for them. And so that's even one of my questions on my coaching worksheet is I don't ask them, are you reading a book? Check a box, yes or no. I don't say that. I say, which book are you currently reading? Because that doesn't give them the opportunity to check the no box. That gives them the opportunity to go to their bookshelf, open a book, and at least read a page before they turn their form back into me. Because it's expected from me that leaders read. Leaders are growing and learning. Like that was another thing I had. It was mind blowing to me. I was a newer diamond, and a family had come through town, and she like had flown up to Sapphire. Like she got up to Sapphire so quickly, and she'd recruited tons of level ones and wasn't having much duplication. She was so burnt out. And I was like, what book so we were just talking. I was like, so what book are you reading? And she's like, I've never read a book. And I was just like, I was, you know, you need to be nice and kind and kosher, but inside I was like, what? What? Because she was like asking me how I duplicate. And I'm like, first of all, you got to read a book, and you got to get your team to read a book, and you got to have to have that leadership skills in you, and then down to the rest of your team. So, so in your language, be mindful of how you're talking to your team, because if you want to rise up other leaders, you have to speak to them like they're leaders. Another thing I wanted to mention, as I know you guys have gone through steps 1 through 3, one mistake I had made is that level 1 is the position level, right? So one mistake I made is I was assuming that everyone that was a gold or above, I was assuming by their rank, their plexus rank, I was assuming that was their leadership level. So for example, like I had, I don't know, like I had learned how to start leading team calls. And so before I even led a book study, it was the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. They taught it at my very first convention at Jewel Training. They taught about that book and how you could do that with your team. And so I got back and I was like, okay, because I had like 10 golds at the time. And I was like, okay, each of you need to go lead a study for your team on the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And some of them were like, but in my mind, I was like, you're gold, you should be doing that. But then it was like, oh, a huge mistake that I made. Like a rank does not determine someone's leadership level. Like it may, but if you have only one, if someone has one really strong leg, as a leader, I view them as the leadership level of how many outside leg points they have. And so, for example, like, say somebody is an emerald, and so they have 150 points, but they have like 375 on their outside leg, then I have to remember to view them at the leadership level of a senior gold. Okay. Just because like I was making assumptions of their position was their leadership level. And as you guys have learned, your position or your title is not your leadership level. And so I love that you guys did this book. It's super foundational. It was super eye-opening for me, because some more mistakes I made is, so my position went up quickly, but my permission, I had to work on my relationships. And I think all of us have different areas of weaknesses. Like I'm more of a red personality. And so I was just kind of like all business, all skills, do this. It's what I did, just do it. And that was kind of turning some people away. And so I kind of had to, relationships take a little bit more time than just telling somebody what to do. And so I had to really develop a level of trust and care for people. So some of that area might be a huge strength for you. You may be like totally killing the level 2 leader, and kudos to you. Like that's a weakness area for me. And it's such a strength that's needed on the team. Like you are so valuable. You add so much value to a team. You're a piece of the puzzle that's so needed. The nurturer, the cheerleader, the encourager, the ones that are always commenting on people's posts, and are commenting on the team page and offering it. And that's you're a natural encourager. And I'm so grateful for you. For me, that's an area I had to work on. The production level was an easy one for me. So that may be an easy one for you, or that may be not an easy one for you. And so I just love this, because it's what this book did is self-awareness. Right? Like you may think, oh, I'm this rank, I'm an amazing leader. And you get to level 2 or 3 and you're like, oh, wait a second. Or you may thought you weren't that good of a leader and you're reading level 2 and you're like, I'm amazing at this. And then so I just love that any book that allows you to evaluate yourself, I think is super, super healthy. So that takes the relational piece and it takes the production piece. And a simple thing to show your team, y'all, get your 2 in before the 15th so you can trial the new product. You have to add 2 before the 15th, and you get to try the new product before it is launched next month. So you're going to get to tell the story first. You're going to people are going to be coming to you. You're going to have more to post on it. And that's just leading by example. That's being a level 3 leader, leading by example in that production area. And go on up there, ease on up there to your level 4 and start having the conversations start having those one-on-one conversations. Hey, have you got your 2 yet? Who can we put in a 3-way message? Who can we invite to this event we've got coming up? Let's get you this access to this new product. Because ultimately at a level 4 and 5, this may sound weird at first. When the first time I heard this, it sounded really weird to me. I remember Jen Hawkins saying, you ideally want to work yourself out of a job in this business. And at first that kind of offended me because I was a really hard worker and I was like, I'm never not going to work. I don't want to work myself out of a job. But then as I went along and had more awareness of the levels, you don't want to like do nothing ultimately, but you want to be your job is, this is why this is so serious. Like I said before, if you do not figure out how to develop other leaders, you will burn out. And this is the beautiful joy of the ultimate residual income in network marketing is you work really hard for multiple years to get to an income level that you would have never reached at your day job. And if you've worked on yourself and worked on other leaders along the way, when you get to a level, you don't quit, but you work less. And you get to do more of the things you love doing, like leadership training. And you have to do less of the stuff you may hate doing. So you get to kind of, right now, you got to keep doing the stuff you hate. But just know that you don't ultimately have to do that forever. So I hope that's something you look forward to. And that actually is honorable. I don't think it's honorable to work 30 years burnt out as hard as you can for 30 years. That's not getting to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And so I'm really, really passionate about developing other leaders because it's provided the freedom for me. I work a fraction of what I used to work, and I'm so grateful for my leaders. And I get to really work with my leaders. Like I know that Jordan loves her team, but I bet you the most life-giving thing that she does is pour into you, top leaders. She don't have to deal with the whiners or the people who always are complaining. You know what I'm talking about. And so if you're in those trenches right now, we get it, we understand. Keep developing yourself, keep developing others by just leading by example in that. And then someday you'll get to be doing the stuff that you really love the most. So those were some of the big things I wanted to tell you all tonight.
I love that. I was actually kind of getting teary-eyed a little bit because I mean, like the hard work, it's hard, y'all. Like you're in the trenches. It is tough. Personal growth and getting uncomfortable in that area sucks a lot, actually. It is so good. Like it is so good. That level 4 leadership is so much fun.
Oh, and as fun as it is, y'all haven't got to experience this yet, but as fun as it is, like the first time you are on that stage at convention for being Emerald, you'll never forget it. But you also will never forget the first teammate of yours up on that stage. This weekend at my party, I had them say everyone had to share their most proudest Plexus moment. And mine was my first year at convention. I was on stage as a Jewel, but my second year at convention, I had a handful of emeralds, and oh girl, I was running to the front of that stage. I was taking the pictures. Excuse me, get out of the way. I got to get pictures of my girls. Like it was like this proud mama moment, and it hasn't stopped. Years later, even when Jordan Ronberry was on that stage, it hasn't stopped. I am still so freaking proud of her and love seeing her on that stage. And you got to do these things to have that moment. And those moments are worth everything, worth it all.
Do you have any questions for them, Jessica, as far as do you have anything that you would like for them to answer right now, or we can vice versa that?
Well, I'm going to challenge you. So hopefully you've written my 5 things down. I really, really want to challenge you. First and foremost, get your 2 and get to be a product tester. Challenging you to do that, and in turn, challenge your team to do that. And then I was looking through my notes at what I had challenged people when I did this lesson with them. And my challenge was, let me find exactly how I worded it. It was to court, pursue, and ask 5 dream teamers to join your team. Because also, one of the best way, okay, I think I had a video from years ago. I need to do another one. But out of all of my level 1 jewels, I think there was only 2 that came to me. And the rest I sought out. And most of them all told me no the first time, like, heck no, you're crazy. Like, talked behind my back for a while, thought I was crazy. But that seed was planted in them. And when they saw me going up to silver, going up to gold, earning a bonus, earning leaders retreat, they had a change of heart. And so I'm challenging you guys to do this week. I'm going to say by Wednesday, is to just straight up have a conversation, and not a, hey girl, but just these people I was just so freaking straight with. And I was just like, Ryan, look, I know you need the money. I know your situation. And she was like, she needed everything. Her health was horrible. Well, actually, Ryan's a different story. I have to tell you, I had to tread lightly with her. But you just gotta straight up tell them. You gotta straight up tell them why they would be amazing at this, why they would have so much fun at this, how they could help other people through this, why you want them with you in Hawaii. Y'all, I don't care. But this sounds so silly, but do this. Literally go in your closet. And if it's Stephanie, you got to go, okay, before you message Stephanie, right before you message Stephanie. Okay, I get it. You're like, oh, she's going to say no. She's going to think I'm crazy. No, you go in your closet and you're going to be, and you say, Stephanie's going to love this. She is going to have we are going to swim with dolphins in Hawaii. I'm going to get her some sunglasses that she can wear in her new Lexus. She is going to love this. Oh my goodness, her kid's going to get to go to ballet. Her son's going to be able to pay for her son's college. She would be so crazy not to say yes to me. And then you go and voice message or you call her. Okay, because your attitude, your inflection is she would be crazy to say no. And you can hear the difference when you really believe in this and you believe that they are going to say yes. Your demeanor is different than when you go into it like, oh, Jessica challenged me, let me just get this over with. Okay, they're gonna know that you're like totally weird and awkward and uncomfortable and not confident. It's okay to tell them that you're nervous about talking to them about it, but just let your demeanor, let them, again, people don't believe in themselves, so they have to borrow belief from somebody else that this is going to work until they get some belief of their own. But I really want you guys to do that, because the timing of this is great. And know that so many people who either never returned my message when I sent those messages, or who told me no, as long as you don't make it weird. This is the thing. Like, it's only weird if you make it weird. You know, the girl at church who you really wanted to be on your team and she told you no. It's only weird if you start not having eye contact with her and you start avoiding her. Then it's weird, okay? It's not weird if you treat her the same. If you go up and give her a hug the next Sunday, if you go and play with her kids, if you go sit with her, just don't make it weird if someone tells you no. Because so many of them will come around because of your leadership and because you do it differently than other people. And because you are growing as a person, and so they are more attracted to the person than they are to the business necessarily. So I want you to get your product this month, and I want you to message five people, okay? Because again, we're not going to recruit 300 level ones. I mean, recruit 300 level ones, keep doing that. But wouldn't you want to recruit a senior Ruby instead of somebody who's just going to be at silver forever? So you know who they are. You know who they are. You know who the scary ones are because you've probably been avoiding them. And hashtag leaders, not avoiders. Let me go put that in the comments, Jordan. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that'd be great. Is there anything that y'all took away from this section that you're just like, I have to say it, it stuck out to me, like I have to mention this? Is there anything that y'all wanted to share from this section?
One thing that I saw that stuck out multiple times was when he kept talking about being a servant, and that you, whenever you start focusing on others and you start, serving them and stop focusing more on yourself, that's when you start truly feeling fulfilled. And I think that's when you just start leading more naturally than being forced into leading, because your purpose now is to serve others instead of, doing it for your own benefit.
I love that, because, and also you're going to get to a level, you may not need the income, or you may get to a level where you're like, this is great, my life is great. And so it's switched, like you have to have a why of, like someone, I was working with a coach with that because I'm a goal-oriented person. I was like, there's nothing else for me to go for. And she was like, at your level, as you guys are into levels 3 and 4 and 5, your why changes to, it's your purpose to add value to this world, because you've been blessed, because you've learned these things, because you have the keys to an amazing business opportunity and amazing health products. You have to tell other people about this because it's going to change their life. And man, that's super fulfilling to wake up every day and your goal for that day be, I mean, your vague goal to be add value to the world. And then, going specific on how that looks, but what can I do today to add value to the world? I love that.
Well, that's funny. That's actually what I highlighted also out of that entire thing. It was on page 196. When you become a leader, you give up the right to think about yourself. And that's including your comfort zone, your fears, everything.
Y'all, Amber, who I told you rode the helicopter, the first fear started with she didn't swallow pills for years. She was opening up Ease and putting it on her food.
Oh,
That's shellfish. That's nasty. And so, like, I had a heart to heart with her, and I was like, "You're not Emerald because you don't swallow pills." And I mean, but it got down to that, like, because one thing, it just showed me, if there's one thing in life, because I see this on some people are always like, nope, never gonna do that. Nope, that's too scary. Never. My mom is like that, y'all. And but though, listen to that. If someone's like, not gonna swallow pills, or I don't know. I had one girl who wouldn't drive on the interstate. And I think I told her too. I was like, the reason you're not Sapphire is because you're not driving on the interstate. And I think it's unrelated, but it's becoming aware that they have a fear that is like so strong. When they get over that hump, it frees them in other areas. And she's Sapphire now. So, and she drives on the interstate.
Anybody else? Because this was way longer than normal, but I mean, when Jessica talks, we listen. So, anybody else have anything else you wanted to point out?
I'm so sorry. I have so much highlighted in this chapter, but
There's so much, and that was one thing about leading this in general is you can highlight this whole book. Everything he says, you can go apply, and so it is hard.
One thing I kept reading, I will say, when I kept reading this book, like when I got through the 5th level, I was like, that would be another good why. Like when your why continually changes, like your last why could be a pinnacle leader, or your next why could be a pinnacle leader. I mean, that's kind of cool to think about.
Yeah. You want people to pass you. So if you have some weird trip about you don't want someone underneath you to pass you up in rank, you need to get over that, because that's your fear. And I mean, a level 5 leader develops leaders that are better than themselves. So if you have a weird thing about that, go to therapy.
Go to therapy.
I'm not laughing. I think everybody should go to therapy. I'm in therapy.
I love it. Okay. We're gonna wrap this up. Jessica, thank you for being here. I can't wait for you to actually like be in person with this group. They're so good. Like they're so good. They're my best friends. And I wanted to tell you guys, thank y'all for doing this with me. Y'all know this isn't my gift, but I do love growing with y'all in this way. And so I am thankful that y'all did this with me. You committed to this even in December, which we all know is crazy. And it's really awesome. And I'm really proud of y'all.
Thank you for leading, Jordan.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thanks for this, Jordan.
Guys, I love y'all. We're gonna kick off. Jessica, if you want to exit really fast, we're just gonna talk really quick about an IPA challenge we're gonna do, unless you just want to hang out and listen to what we're doing.
Thank
See
you.
you next summer, but in the convention.
Yes.
Or before, maybe before.
And then in Mexico, because this group right here will be Emerald.
Oh yes,
July.
next year's Emerald trip for sure.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Y'all, I know this was like way longer than we thought, and we were going to talk like in detail, but y'all have any questions about Leaders Retreat really fast, and then we'll hop off of here because I know several people had questions for their teams. And did y'all
I
have?
did have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Are we gonna put out like what we should wear? Like I saw the itinerary that you had made so far. And I just want to know if there's gonna be like, a thing that said workout clothes or jeans, casual, fancy.
Yes. And actually, I thought about Lauren. I thought about reaching out to Randy Page because I'm over here like trying to create things and it's really sucky and it's taking me a long time. And she really enjoys that. And so I thought about delegating that to her. So yes, we will have a dress code, an itinerary, and a list of things for people that people can go do and schedule ahead of time for free time when we have those blocks. And so we will have all of that this week. It's on my calendar this week. Is there anything else about leaders? Also, I was going to talk to y'all about cost really fast because this is important. So the house is, I mean, it's expensive, but we have a lot of people. And so if we were going to do $200 a person, it would pay for the whole house and everything the whole time. And then I really don't want anyone to have to pay for food. I would really like to pay for the food. And I have budgeted about $1,000 for that. So, but I don't have budgeted for photography. And so do you think it would be okay if we ask everybody to pay $200 and then just chip in $10 each and that would cover photography? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you get a final answer from Mashana?
I assume she was coming.
Okay.
I can message her though if you'd like.
I'll message her.
Okay. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking is 200 and then $10 each. That covers photography and house. And then all I have to worry about is food for everybody and decorations and fun things and other things that we have planned, which I'm really excited about, but I can't tell you. Okay. And then the other thing I was going to tell y'all is, on the team page this week, I don't know about y'all, the Diamonds in December videos are great, but their write-ups are so long. I can't even read them all. They're overwhelming for me personally. And so what I was thinking is we turn those videos into like an IPA accountability week this week. And I will do a giveaway for a $25 gift card every day. And you just have to fill out your IPA sheet, turn it in, and answer the one question that I'm going to have on there for the video and the link. And that's it. Do y'all like that idea? Kind of celebrating
I love that
action.
idea.
Okay, good.
I love that idea. I felt the same way about the things. I'm like, okay, I'm watching the video and then I just wouldn't even comment because
there's so much words.
Me.
So many words.
Yeah, so many words and so many things to respond to. So I love that idea. I think that's great.
Okay. And then I did really love what Jessica said about highlighting some of our teammates that are doing things really awesome. Like, so if like this week, knowing that in the morning at 6 a.m. every morning is going to be an IPA post, knowing that, maybe encouraging your teams when she was talking about having 2 of your teams to rise them up, highlight their strengths, have them add value to the team. knowing that just any night, like any time from 8 a.m. to nighttime, I will not have any other posts scheduled except for that morning one. And that's it.
That'd be great.
Is that helpful?
One post a day is great.
What?
One post a day, one action item a day in health, happiness, and financial freedom is great.
I mean, it's hard to do. I don't know how, but we're gonna try. And then a Christmas party. Last thing, I know I'm gonna wrap this up super fast. Emily Burgess is so good at warm fuzzy things. I am not good at warm fuzzy things. And so she has organized a Christmas cup or coffee cup exchange for her team. And it's actually really cool. Everybody just sends in, it doesn't even matter, y'all, customers, ambassadors, everyone. They just say that they want to be a part of it. They send their yes to her assistant, and her assistant is just basically putting people together, and they're Amazoning coffee cups to each other. It's pretty fun. Is that too much work? Do y'all want to do something like that and then have an actual like virtual Christmas party?
I think it'd be really, really fun. And there's also a website called Elfster, which if everyone it assigns them for you. So like your assistant wouldn't have to do that even. But if your assistant, she has time to do it, then she could.
I'm
do
not
it too.
fancy, so I can reach out to you about that. if y'all want to do that. Do y'all like that
I think
idea?
it would be fun. I think it'd be fun. That's me.
We have to do it real quick though, because it's the 6th.
No, it would be, I looked at it. So they would have to order it by probably the 16th, and we would do the party on the 22nd, is what I was thinking. Or option 2 is it's called Favorite Things, where we just have maybe some of our senior golds and rubies. We have one group, it's our Favorite Things group, and everybody just gives like their story and one tip on a Facebook group, and at the end they ask a question and do a giveaway for their favorite thing. And so that's the option 2.
I think option 1 would get our downline more excited to do things and be more involved.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah,
of my
I like-
and level ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
like the option 1 better.
Okay. And then option 1, so I was going to tell y'all this. So Jen Leith did that last year, and she had Alita Allen come on and sing a Christmas song. And during the Christmas song, like everybody was like commenting what their favorite ones was. And we have Kylie Lewis on our team who has a beautiful voice. And so I thought we could have her sing a Christmas song on this Zoom if y'all like that idea.
I definitely second that.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Are y'all good with that? Lauren, Kimmy, everybody? Harley? Yes?
Yep.
All right. Meeting adjourned. I will get y'all details tomorrow. I love y'all. Thank y'all for doing this with me. Did y'all like Jessica?
Always.
Definitely.
She's awesome. All right. Have a good night, y'all. Have a good week.
Good night.